to Unique, and today our class is on biology, whose exam is almost there. I'm sure everybody has studied enough, but today's class I'm just going to give you a recapitulation as to which other points you're going to emphasize, and not only that, which way the questions might be asked for your boards. So let's begin today's class. To begin the class, I'll first discuss the paper pattern and the marks distribution. Your section A will consist of your MCQs, name the following or one word answers, arranging and rewriting, that is sequence based question, fill in the blanks, which will be a paragraph from your book will be taken up. So reading thoroughly the book itself is very important aspect. So fill in the blanks of 5 marks is going to come out. Next is odd one out with reason. There will be multiple words given of a particular topic. There will be one odd one out. You need to pick it up and you have to state the reason as to why that is an odd one out or why it does not matches with the others. Then you're going to have match the following. And then section B, total 6 marks, 6 questions will be there, out of which you need to attempt 4 questions. Each question will be of 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. So this is a general paper pattern and the mark distribution which we are expecting to see in the upcoming biology paper. Now let us move into the details. The first chapter is cell, but it's a revision chapter, so not much emphasis has been given to this chapter from the board's point of view. But 6 we have studied in lower grades, so just revise the chapter as which points you need to go through: the postulates, the various cell organelles and their function, what would happen if a particular organelle is not there. For example, I have framed a question here for you. What would happen if Golgi apparatus is absent? And various examples of non-membrane, single membrane, double membrane organelle. So these are the questions from where, these are the portions from where questions can come in the form of MCQs, odd one, etc. The next question or the next chapter is very important. That is cell cycle and cell division. First of all, we need to know the difference between karyokinesis and cytokinesis. This can come in section A in the form of long answer as to differentiate between karyokinesis, cytokinesis. Picture-based diagram can also come from this segment. Next important part is what is amytosis and with respect to amoeba. And over here, diagram. The board will give you diagram. You need to identify the organism and you need to tell what kind of cell division this organism is showing. Children, I'm sorry for my voice. It is recently cracked. Coming back, we need to know the concept of diploid and haploid. Diploid means the concept of 2N chromosomes, which is usually seen in the autosomes or the non-sexual chromosomes. And the concept of haploid is N, that is seen in sex chromosome. So this concept of diploid and haploid is important. Homologous chromosomes, what are centromere, where it is found, what is its function? Centromere. What is the connecting link between chromatids and chromatin? Connecting link. It will come in the form of long answers. Genes, will come in the form of 1 mark question. It can come in the form of MCQ. Fine. Next, what is DNA? What is DNA made up of? What are the various difference between nucleotide and nucleoside? This difference, nucleotide and nucleoside. Then we can also have a diagram based question on the double helical structure of DNA. They will they will give you this diagram, they will mark, and they will ask you to label what is A, what is B, what is C. So this double helical structure of DNA is important. Not only picture based diagram will come, but also MCQ can come as to what are the pyrimidines? Four options. What are the pyrines? Four options. So DNA structure, detail of it. What what are nucleosomes? What are nucleosomes? What is DNA made up of? Fine. All these questions are important. Next, moving on to cell division portion. 2 marks question can directly come as to what happens in G1 and G2 phases. Mitosis diagram, they might give you. You need to identify the stages or a particular stage. Like for example, maybe only anaphase is given. Maybe only mitosis is given. You need to identify. You need to identify the stages, answer the relevant questions. So very important, picture-based questions will be coming. Next is importance of spindle fibers. What are spindle fibers? What role do they play in cell division? Plus, when this picture-based diagram will be given to you, maybe in the labeling, spindle fibers will be marked. So you need to know where it is. Fine. Who produces the spindle fibers? So, concept of centrioles comes here. You need to know from where spindle fibers are originating. Next, concept of chiasma and crossing over. Simple definition may come, or they may also ask at which cell division stage this chiasma and crossing over is usually viewed. So these are these few important areas where of this chapter where questions will be emphasized on. Fine.
Ma'am, they
Next,
won't ask for drawing of chiasma and crossing over.
yes, very. If you ask me that, if you look at your Selena publication book, you're going to see there is a picture showing the crossing over between the non-homologous chromosomes or sister chromatids. That diagram they will give you, and they will ask you what is the phenomena being shown there. You have to answer it. And even if they ask you to draw it, you have to use pencil colors only. No pastel is allowed in the paper. Fine. Or you may use double color pencil. This is a relatively simple diagram. You can draw it. But emphasize on this chapter, board, board will be
Ma'am,
giving. Yes.
ma'am, can you explain amitosis once?
Okay. Mitosis means when cell division is not like a single body is dividing in it happens in lower group of organisms. Over here, generally karyokinesis is followed by cytokinesis. It is not a much complex process, or it does not have much four-stage process happens in mitosis. It's a simpler version. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Able to Am I able to clear your doubt better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, moving on to the next, genetics. Very, very important part. Multiple questions will come in the form of MCQ, in the form of reasoning. In fact, in your MCQ, assertion reasoning questions can also come. Fine. Let us see which portions and how to prepare this chapter. Why did Mendel took pea plant? 2 marks question can come, 1 mark question can come. Fine. So you need to tell the reason as to why he did not take other plants but pea plant. Next is concept of allele, homologous chromosome, dominant recessive, homozygous heterozygous, genotype phenotype, variation, mutation. All these can come in the form of difference, MCQ. It can come in the form of simple definition. It can come in the form of name or identify. So these concept means simple definition. Very, very, very important. So again, question can come in the form of a simple cross. Cross has been given. Question will come, identify, complete the cross and identify dominant trait, recessive trait, what will be the phenotype, what will be the genotype, what will be your observation. So simple 2 to 3 mark question can come just from monohybrid cross. Clear? Dihybrid cross, it may or may not come, but out of monohybrid and dihybrid, monohybrid will come. Short answer. Dihybrid may come as a workout, may not come. But dihybrid genotype important. Phenotype not important, not in your syllabus. Clear? Back cross, test cross. Even though only in last 10 years it has been asked very few times, but just go through the concept of back cross and test cross. They might ask you simple difference and or definition. Clear? Next, laws of genetics. Simple definition will come, or from monohybrid cross, or which law is reflected in monohybrid cross. What is the first law of genetics? Who can tell me? Who is the first law of genetics?
Law of dominance.
Law of dominance.
So monohybrid cross establishes law of dominance, whereas dihybrid cross establishes the rest two of the laws. So like this, a bit twisted question can come for your board. Fine. Next, very, very important. X-linked, Y-linked diseases. You have multiple X and Y-linked diseases in your Selena publication. Go through them very well, especially the crosses. One will come. Yes, beta. Who is having doubt? Raising your hands.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes, beta. Arjun Mitra. I'll have a talk, and I'll be, if this PDF is available to the students, I'll be sending it. Okay? Not to worry. Let us concentrate on the class now. So color blindness, hemophilia. cross will come. One of the cross will definitely come. Ritapa Chakraborty, what doubt, beta?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you're mentioning Selena publications, but from our school we have been given Goel publications. So will that be a problem?
No problem. Actually, Selena is a published or prescribed book from the boards. That's why majority of the school uses. But content is same in all the books. So you no problem using Goel as well. Okay, beta?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I think there are no viling diseases in Selena.
Sorry.
There are no viling diseases. The examples of the viling diseases present in Selena book.
Okay, fine. Whatever is there in your book, if X, like Weiling disease is Hollandric diseases, another name of Weiling disease is Hollandric disease. If there is any cross for whatever X and Weiling diseases, one will come. Fine. If it is not mentioned in your book, it will obviously not
Okay.
come. Okay. Moving on to variations and mutations. Simple mutations example will come or may come. Give example of a disease caused due to mutation. Can anybody tell me? Okay.
The sickle cell
Beta,
anemia.
sickle cell anemia. I have a question which how to solve sequence question. I'll come to that in some later chapter when I'm going to discuss it. Clear? I have remembered your question. I'll come. Next, moving on to the next chapter. Absorption of roots. Absorption by roots. Structure of root hair. Important. Diagram will come. Sequence based question will come. For example, I'll give you water enters. Water enters. Osmosis. Diffusion. Xylem. Like this, 4 word has been given with the first word underlined. The question will be asked or will be given. Rearrange in sequence starting from the word underlined. So you're going to start with your answer will be water enters. Then it will be osmosis, or you can write diffusion followed by xylem. So first sequence, second sequence, third sequence, fourth sequence. So you have rearranged it in a sequential manner. Is it clear, whoever had the doubt? Okay. Next, what is apoplast and symplast pathway? You need to know factors which affect absorption by roots. What are the factors? One points you need to know. Directly, questions will come either in the form of MCQ or in the form of long answer, that is section B. Fine. Odd one out can also come. 3 factors has been given. 1 factor is a wrong factor. You need to underline or encircle the odd one out. Right? Why it is not clear? Because it is not a factor of absorption by roots. Next, important terms can come MCQ, picture based, reasoning, name the following. So these are the questions which can be framed from these concepts. Next, endosmosis, exosmosis. Experimental questions can come. Osmotic turgor pressure. Experimental question, that is picture based. They are going to give you an experimental setup and they are going to ask you which phenomena is being demonstrated here. Explain it, label the parts, state the factors, etc. etc. So, osmotic pressure, turgor pressure, endososmosis, exosmosis, plasmolysis, very, very important. And out of these, one sure short question coming on the board's paper. ठीक है? Any doubt? Any doubt, anybody?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you please show us the structure of root here? Because this book doesn't have this one, the structure of root here.
Can you please again repeat the question?
If on this question, beta, this one, all books should have. It has come many times in board's paper as well. This fine. After the class gets over, I will be sending you the relevant, the important diagrams in the group so that you can revise. Now from this chapter, students, you can also see these experimental questions is what I am talking about. These experimental questions. Fine? So one will definitely come or relevant questions can come. Fine? From hypotonic, reasoning question can come. Why do raisins kept in water swell? Why do when we wash clothes for a long time, our fingers appears wrinkled? Concept of hypotonic solutions. Fine. So reasoning based question from daily life can also come in your board paper. Fine. Shall we proceed?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Shaptoshi.
Ma'am, can you once explain apoplus and simplus pathway?
Okay. Beta, if I start explaining now, I will not be able to cover. So apoplasty simplast portion, I will be sending in the group. Will that work?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I have to cover a lot more chapters. So let us go through this fast. Then sending the details in the group.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Fine. Moving on to the next. Transpiration. Definition, very simple. Again, transpiration. Experimental questions will come. One, throughout the year, throughout 10 years when I've seen, I'm sure you people have also seen, one question of transpiration comes. It can be from the potometer based, it can be from cobalt chloride experiment, but experiment comes. Fine. Difference. Cuticle transpiration, stomatal transpiration. MCQ. Factors. Fine. Name the following. Which instrument is used to measure the transpiration rate? Name the following. Potassium ion exchange theory. 3 marks question it will come. Factors. Reasoning based question will come. For example, why do plants kept outside for long wilts? Because excessive transpiration is happening, so there is loss of water, plants wilt. Next reasoning question. Why are cactus Leaves of cactus modified into spines. Again, to reduce transpiration. Why is there a waxy cuticle on top of leaf surface? To reduce transpiration. Reasoning based questions. Okay. Guttation and bleeding. Simple definition. Fine. Guttation is observed in tomato plants in winters. What is usually released in guttation and bleeding? Waste. Waste is generally released through guttation. As I told you, focusing on experimental setup. Very important. Again, very, very important chapter. Structure of chloroplast. You will not be asked to draw. Board will give you the diagram. You need to label. Sugar concentration and K plus ion concentration of stomatal opening. Any one along with stomatal diagram, there is a chance 3 marks. Definition of photophosphorylation. Steps of light reaction. In generally, what is photophosphorylation can also come, or write the steps or explain light reaction. 3 marks question. 3, whenever you're going to see 3 marks question, beta, we are not going to elaborate and write anything. We are going to maintain the we are going to maintain the, the bulletin format. Write the heading, 1 line about it. Write the main, 1 line about it. Do not exaggerate unnecessarily. Fine. Dark reaction. The site dark reaction. There is a 50-50% chance question can come. Even if question comes, MCQ section A will have 1 or 2 marks question from dark reaction. As per my knowledge, I might be wrong as well. Nobody will ask you to completely draw the dark reaction and show. There's a 50-50% chance. Fine. Next, internal and external factors of photosynthesis. Again, picture-based question. What will happen if excess sunlight is there? What will happen if I give excess water? Principle of limiting factors. Fine. Important short question can come. Experiments with starch test destarching. Experimental questions. Like experimental setup will be given to you. Just a second. Photosynthesis. Very simple diagram like this. A simple experimental setup. From here, questions will be coming from starching and destarching. Why do we use iodine? Why are we using alcohol to boil? All these things, questions, short questions can come. Clear? Last but not the least, carbon cycle is a whole question. Clear? You have to draw the cycle. You have to draw the cycle. Clear? Any doubt till this much? Yes, Shashwati?
Ma'am, why do our fingers wrinkle when we use too much water?
There is loss of water from our fingers. That is, exosmosis is taking place. That's why our fingers shrink. Clear?
But ma'am,
Ma'am,
endosmosis should take place because the outside solution is hypotonic.
But better when we are washing our clothes for a long time. That is the word I've used. So when we are washing our hands for long, amount of water content is comparatively higher than inside our body.
So ma'am, endosmosis should occur.
Sorry, my mistake. Our water is coming out from our body, not going in. Exosmosis happening, not endosmosis. Because not only solvent, even solute concentration is there. And when we are just a second, beta, when we are washing our clothes, remember soap solution we are using, not simple water. Okay, Shashwati, we are using soap solution, due to which water is tending to leave our body. Any more question?
ma'am, will the reaction of
No
Yes,
ma'am.
Shubhajyoti?
ma'am, the reaction for photosynthesis can come?
Yes, reaction of photosynthesis is important. It's whenever you're reading the definition of photosynthesis, that's what I told you. Photophosphorylation can come, equation breaking of water, or simply equation of photosynthesis can come, definition of photosynthesis can also come. Fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Moving on to the next is coordination in plants. There are various hormones. Direct question will come. MCQ, fill up or odd one out. Odd one out can come in the form of, for example, I have taken auxin. In odd one out, I have given three function of auxin, one function of say gibberellin. You need to find out the odd one out. Fine, like this. Tropic movement में diagram based question will come. Board will give you diagram. You will be asked, so what is the type of movement shown here? Which hormone is responsible for such type of movement? Clear?
And stimulus.
Yes, Oikoton.
Ma'am, I'm saying that can you please name two chemicals which are responsible for chemotropism?
Two chemicals responsible for chemotropism. Better right now, I'm not sure of that. Fine. I'll give this answer in the group. Okay, and right now,
Is it in our syllabus?
it is not there in your syllabus as well.
No, because in my school, in my pre-boards, there was a question that name what chemical responsible for chemotropism. Not even hormone, because if it was hormone, then it would be oxygen. That I know. Yes,
Exactly.
but the question was
Exactly.
exactly name a chemical that was responsible. So I was also shocked because it was not written in a book as well.
Fine. Uh, I'm jotting
Ma'am,
down all your
can it
doubts.
be sugar and peptones, these two chemicals responsible for
See,
chemotropism?
beta, if I'm talking about sugar, sugar is first of all a compound. Fine. Chalo, let us still consider it to be chemical. Sugar is responsible for growth. So plant root will move wherever they will see sugar for uptake. So again, It's a dicey question from which respect the question has been asked. Sugar is present, like we are producing sugar via photosynthesis. So obviously, plant will get attracted to sugar. But that can be considered as a chemical or not. That is a bit dicey. Fine, I'll be answering. Let me just go through also through some books. If I get, I will post it in the group. Clear, Oikothon?
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm trying my level best to help you at the last moment. Let me see how much I can. Very, very important question. Chapter.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, why do the bacteria in our mouth die when we gargle with salt water?
Again, when we gargle with salt water, salt having very less salt water, matlab salt solution having high concentration of solute, low concentration of water. So, whenever bacteria comes in contact with salt solution, water is taken out from the bacteria's body and the bacteria dies of exosmosis.
So exosmosis takes place.
Yes.
But ma'am, together with it is written that the endosmosis takes place.
Where?
And together with.
As I'm having together with, but it is exosmosis, better. That is water
Exactly,
is
the
coming
water
out.
is coming out.
Exactly. Endosmosis means water is going in. Bacteria will flourish.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what is written together with, but it is exosmosis, and I'm 100% sure of it.
Okay,
Clear,
ma'am.
beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
how can we
I
differentiate
have a
between
doubt.
Ma'am, how can we differentiate between myocardial infarction and angina pectoris?
Um, Myo and angina actually in angina pectoris, it is more of an oxygenated blood not reaching the heart. But in the previous one, it is blocking of the arteries. Very minute difference.
So, if I write in myocardial infarction, that basically a branch of the coronary artery gets blocked, and therefore it causes a pain, and that is what myocardial infarction is. And for angina pectoris, when there is insufficient supply of blood on to the walls of the heart, therefore a pain occurs, and that is known as angina pectoris. Will that be enough?
Yes, it is perfect.
Thank you.
Circulatory system, very, very super duper important chapter. Fine, let's see which points. Composition of plasma serum. Direct question can come. Individual, like what is the composition of plasma? 1 mark. Or difference can come. MCQ can come. Name the following can come. Fine, just from plasma and serum. Next, very important again. What are the factors or points which makes RBC an excellent transport system of oxygen? So you need to know no nucleus, no mitochondria. These 2 points. WBC, types of WBC, granulocyte, agranulocyte. Difference, do not focus much on it. Do not go in depth into it. Just know what are granulocytes, which one are the agranulocytes. That's all. No in-depth is required. Whatever is there in your book, that much. Function of basophil, if there is in your book, yes. Which WBC helps in allergy? That is important. Basophils, eosinophils, that much. Nothing in details. Next, WBC has amoeboid shape. Amoeboid shape. Why? Because it has to do diapedesis. It has to ooze out from anywhere and trap the germs. So amoeboid structure helps in the diapedesis or the phagocytosis process. Fine. You may be asked to draw diapedesis or diagram can be given to you. You need to identify the phenomena. ठीक है? Blood clotting. Flow chart in 3 marks question can come. Or name the vitamin helping in blood clotting. One word answer, MCQ. Name the minerals involved in blood clotting. Fine. All these questions just from blood clotting. Name the following can come. MCQ can come. Blood clotting itself, 3 marks question can come. Flow chart. 2 right. Fine. And students, if the word flow chart is not mentioned in your paper, still, if blood clotting is given, try to write your answer on a flowchart manner to enhance your answer. Fine. Next, comparative study of blood vessels. RBC, WBC. Difference can come. Platelets. Difference can come. Arteries, veins. Difference can come. Exceptions in arteries and veins, important. All these things. Coming to structure of heart.
Ma'am,
Just give me 2 minutes. Let me finish. I'll take your question. Structure of heart. Very, very important. Diagram will be given to you. You need to know which valve is present where. Location of the valves. Tricuspid, bicuspid, aortic, semilunar. 4 valves are there. You need to know the positions. Which wall is thicker? Auricular or ventricular? Why? Which blood vessel is leaving? Which blood vessel is entering? Biggest blood vessels? Exceptions. Which things are covering the heart? Pericardium, covering on the heart. So objective section also, question will come from the heart. Subjective or section B also, question will come from the heart. Very important question. Double circulation. Either board will give the diagram or you can also be asked to draw the diagram and explain. Disease of the heart. Just now I explained. Either difference can come or simply what is this, state its cause, symptom and treatment. Fine. Or another type of question can come. Study-based question. A situation will be given to you. Person is suffering from heartache, vagera, all these symptoms will be given to you. Identify the disease. How will you treat it? How will you prevent it? Situation-based question. Fine. These are the different types of question which can be asked to challenge you. What is cardiac cycle? Under that, systole, concept of systole, diastole will come. Definition of heartbeat, pulse. One word answer, stethoscope. One word answer, sphygmomanometer. RH factor. Why a negative RH, like in RH factor in pregnancy? RH factor in pregnancy? Question can come. Fine. Hepatic portal diet question as mentioned. Blood group calculation based question. For example, father is A, mother is B. What are the chances of the child having blood group? Fine. Simple questions can come, may not come, but you just go through which, like for example, blood group A has what antibody and what antigen. It's given in your books, or your teacher might have discussed. Blood group, this much only you need to know. Universal donor, universal recipient. Excretory system. Emphasize on diagram. Structure of excretory system, internal structure of kidney, structure of nephron, ultrafiltration, labeling, important, function, important. Why are the ureters curved and not straight? Reasoning question. To prevent backflow of urine. Fine. Reasoning based question. What is micturition? Urge of urinating is micturition. In ultrafiltration, diagram can come, or directly board can ask you, write the steps of urine formation. 1 mark question. Composition of urine. Dialysis. 2 mark question can come.
Ma'am,
Clear?
if it is asked that which is the most harmful substance or filtrate that is excreted out through urine, we will write ureato.
Obviously. Fine. And if you study the composition of urine can also come in the form of odd one out. 3 are the actual things which are getting coming out, and say maybe one is written XYZ. So you need to find out the odd one out. Say this is not the composition of urine, not a part of urine composition. Clear? So again, odd one out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now somebody asked me, ma'am, what about sequence-based question? What of sequence-based question will come? Here comes your answer.
Ma'am, glomerular, ultrafiltrate, tubular, section, those parts.
I'm giving an example. Kidney, urethra, ureter, urinary bladder. Arrange it. First is kidney. Next is ureter. Then is urinary bladder. Urethra. Write in sequential manner. This is your sequence-based question. Same can happen with circulatory system also. Fine. Next, any doubt till this much, students? Okay, moving on to the next. Nervous system. Again, diagram, or which diagrams you need to emphasize on. Neurons. Types of neurons is not that important, but sensory neuron, motor neurons, associated neurons. Brain diagram. Board will give you. Labeling important. Spinal cord, reflex arc, reflex action. Very important. Reflex arc, reflex action. Again, a very important question can come. Gray matter, white matter. Arrangement of gray matter and white matter in brain and spinal cord, in the form of difference, in the form of MCQ, in the form of direct question. Types of nerves with example: sensory nerve, eyes; mixed nerves, motor nerves, all these things. What are the things which are protecting the brain? Pia mater, arachnoid, okay? All these meninges, plus the cranium, all these things you need to say. Vertebral column, concept of gray and white matter, which I just spoke. Cerebellum is the largest part, very important structure of the brain, yani structure of the cerebellum. Two hemisphere, corpus callosum, grooves and ridges, all these things. Function of every part of the brain: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Function of medulla oblongata, pons. Function of cerebellum. Can't a drunk person walk properly? All these things. Who is responsible for voluntary actions, involuntary actions, and all these things? Examples. Give examples of natural reflex, acquired reflex. Examples. Coming to sense organs. From eyes, very, very important is one will come. Myopia, hypermetropia, cataract, astigmatism, whatever disease is there in your books regarding eye, along with diagram, disease will come. Persistence of vision, 1 mark question or MCQ or simple definition. Ears, again, diagram based question, or the whole ear can come, or only the vestibular apparatus can come, or course of sound waves. 3, but diagram is important of ears. You don't have to draw. The board will give you, question will be asked. Fine. Again, a very, very important question, chapter, and short question, either male or female. One diagram based question is coming. Picture based question with labelings, function of labeling, which hormones are responsible. Same with female, labeling, function, hormones. Flow of sperm, sequence question. How sperms, where to where the sperms flow? From the testes to the vas deferens, then the accessory glands, then the urethra or the urinogenital tract, through the penis and out. Flow of sperms. Composition of sperms, 1 mark question. What are the various functions of accessory glands? Seminal ka function, prostate ka function, Cowper's ka function. Diagram of sperm, you have to draw. You have to draw. Definition of spermatogenesis. Any two secondary sexual character, you study and go. Might not come. Female, same. Female's accessory gland is Bartholin gland. Bartholin gland. Fine. Terms like implantation, parturition, gestation, all these terms very important. Where does implantation takes place? Fine. What is the site of fertilization? What is endometrial wall? Important. Menstrual cycle, again, very important. I think every book has this diagram. Please go through this diagram well. Please go through this diagram well. Board can give you picture-based question on this. Plus, structure of ovum, structure of sperm, you have to draw. So practice these diagrams. Fine. Board can give this diagram as well. Only a section of the female reproductive tract, focusing on the graphene follicle and the implantation process. So this chapter is again very important. Next, again, general 2 characters you go through. Types of twins. Definition can come, difference, but not more than 2 marks. Right? Next, we are coming to the chapter hormones. Direct question. Name of the hormone, function, where it is located. If shape is given, butterfly shape or hat shape, what disease happens when hyposecretion happens? What disease happens in hypersecretion? From here, section A, question will come. MCQ, odd one out, one word. Feedback mechanism of TSH. Very, very, very important. Please go through it. Difference and example. Difference and example between endocrine and exocrine. That's all. So, in your books, or if your teachers have given you a table related to hormones, please go through it. Sure question will come from hormone chapter. Population. Now, these chapters study very smartly. Do not go into in-depth. Fine? For example, population. Population what causes population explosion and how can we control population, and the graphs. J-shaped graph, S-shaped graph. S-shaped graph. Just know these 2 graphs of population, what causes population explosion and how can we control population. This is important because it will be related or clubbed up with reproductive question. Fine. Pollution. Awareness based question will come. What is air? What is water? Just read through it. I'm sure you people are smart enough. You can write on your own. Last but not the least, human evolution. Lamarck's theory, important. Darwin's natural selection, important. Survival of fittest, important. Fine. Question over here can come directly or question can come in the form of situation based. For example, there are 2 types of moths. One was black, one was gray. After industry came up, all the gray could not survive. Why? Because, sorry, not industries, my mistake. In the gray and black moth, the gray moth could not survive. Why? Because the black moth could camouflage with the bark of the tree. The gray moth could not, and it was fed by the birds. Survival of the fittest, or the black was naturally selected. So natural selection, survival of the fittest, these over here, these portions will come in the example format, it can come situation format, it can come. Clear? Or direct question to us. Comparative chart of human ancestors. Which human ancestor had how many brain capacity? Who first show bipedal movement? All these questions. Again, 1 to 2 mark question will come from this MCQ question. Clear? So if I go see the mark distribution, students, this is very generally I have given you. This is my estimation of what total marks or how much you have to study how from each chapter, which portions you have to study or give stress to cover these marks. As you can see, circulatory system, sense organs, reproductive systems. Fine. These are important portions. As I told you, I have focused on these chapters. I told you already, these are important questions. Fine. So please keep weightage, give weightage to these chapters and give weightage to the diagrams. I'm sure your exam will go well. Yes,
Ma'am, can you
shoot.
please show the last page once again?
Yes, Subrajyoti, sure.
No, the previous one where you had written the important parts. Yes, ma'am.
This one. Over here, example, situation-based questions will come. Situation-based question. I'm sorry for my dirty handwriting. Situation-based questions will come.
Ma'am, I have a question from evolution. Ma'am, I had given
Sorry?
a mock test one place. There was a question that explain the elongation of neck of giraffe according to Darwin. Ma'am, I think it would be Lamarck.
No, no. See, yes, you're correct. Lamarck's theory is there. But if you, tell you why with respect to Darwin. Here comes survival of the fittest. Lamarck did say that the giraffe's neck got elongated. Fine. But all the giraffe's neck did not get elongated on the very same time. Some got elongated, some did not evolve a long neck. So those who evolved long neck could eat the grass and survived. The others who did not evolve long neck could not eat the leaves. They died of suffocation. They died of starvation. Hence, survival of the fittest, Darwin's theory got proved.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Shubhrajyoti?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Adrija?
Miss, I have a question from the reproductive system. That is, are we supposed to know the arrangement of the layers in an ovum?
In an oven. If it is it there? Because I'm having a new edition. I don't know if there is in your book. Are the layers given? Fetal membranes are given. I know that. But just let me check once.
Just the labelings actually are given.
Can you Ask your question again.
Yes, are we supposed to know the arrangement of the layers in an ovum?
Yes. Cell corona radiata, zona pellucida. Yes, you need to know. That can come in the form of sequence-based question from outside to inside. Whichever portion. How now you can ask me, ma'am, how will we know? We have to arrange inward to outward or outward to inward. Whichever word will be underlined, that is the first word. From there, you need to arrange. Clear,
Okay,
Adrija?
thank you, ma'am.
Any other doubt? Anybody? Yes, Ritapa?
Ma'am, I want to ask that in our pre-boards one question came that composition of heart. In composition of heart, we will add both the layers and the four divisions like articles, ventricles, and valves. Everything we will add.
Beta, always remember when such generalized question will be asked, please try to write all you know, but in bullet format so that you don't waste your time also, but all your points are has been written. Fine. And second, suggestion from my point of view, if time permits, enhance your answers with diagram. If time permits, write down your question and answers. If you finish it first, if you see you have time, you can draw small diagrams neatly and clearly side of your question so that it gets enhanced if there are general questions asked. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Any more doubt?
Ma'am,
Yes, Ankit?
ma'am, I have a question that give reasons for the following. There is a question: we gargle with saline water in case of throat infection.
Same that somebody asked me that bacteria question, exosmosis it will be.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Okay? Any more doubts?
Ma'am,
Okay,
I have
fine.
another doubt. Uh,
Sure, beta, please.
Ma'am, can you please once explain the example of chemotropism?
Example of chemotropism. Example. Um, Somebody asked me which chemical. So to him, I said, I myself not sure. I'll have to look up and I'll post it in the group. But mechanism of chemotropism means if there is any particular chemical present in the soil, for example, sugar, let us assume, then the roots, because sugar is a form of food, roots will get attracted to it and it will start elongating in that direction. This is chemotropism. Fine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
But simple as that, nothing to be exaggerating about it. Clear? Okay. So I think I could help you little bit. Uh, Focus on the diagrams and all the very best for your exams. God bless. You people can leave the meeting. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Students, you may leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes.
can you please send this PDF? I mean, where you've marked everything in the group, if that's possible.
Yes, I think the video, I think the both the video and the PDF will be shared. Okay, beta?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, beta.